Well, hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for May. Hope you are amazing. Hello. So, your energy is good. Comes with a little warning, caution, but not bad. The energy's good. So we have Alchemist in the reverse, misuse of the power and knowledge that came or that comes through spiritual practice. And elementals, nature spirits, the four elements, connecting with spirit on all levels. So, here's what's interesting. You have this power in May, Scorpio, to manifest anything that you want. It's like the world's your oyster, it's handed to you on a silver platter, right? Here's the issue. Here's the caution, okay? The caution is you need to be connected to what is real, okay? So don't get overconfident. Okay. Don't feel like you got it all in the bag. You still have to make good decisions. You still have to make good moves. You still have to be connected to the situation as a whole, be understanding. But as long as you do that, integrity is the word that comes up to me. It'll be good. Okay. But be careful of trying to manipulate or be smarter than or get over. Okay. Because it's going to backfire on you and you're going to lose that good energy, that good power that you have in your hands. Okay. So we have a woman holding a coin. There it is. See? Spirit of water. Mm-hmm. The garden state. Trickster. The garden and the gate. I said garden state. Why am I thinking of that movie? How old is that? Contract. And Milky Way perspective. Hmm. So the first thing that I'm seeing here is you do have it in the bag, right? And what I mean is you have gotten yourself to a point where everything is pretty much good for you, right? You've built this situation, this scenario up to peak optimism, okay? um, it's just about how you handle it emotionally, okay? Whether you're do something childish and let it slip out of your fingers, or um, or you use, I'm gonna say, a spiritual connection to understand. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's like you have this opportunity that you've built and it's wobbly, like a leg is missing off of a table. And it depends on how you choose to handle it, whether it falls down or is sturdy. Okay, that's the easiest analogy that I can give for this. So I feel like there's a childish side to you, like a playful side to you, where you may like to play a game, or manipulative is a strong word. People have a negative feeling towards it. But however you choose to interact with the situation, sometimes I feel like you're a little bit playful, is the word that I'm going to use with situations, and not very straightforward, or not straightforward, but not very grounded in your actions. And this is an opportunity for you to do that. If you choose to go more of the grounded way, it'll work out. If you let that playful side, that sort of mischievous side come out of you, that's where the problem is going to happen. Okay. I also see you needing to commit to something, Scorpio. Okay. And I feel like it's very interesting because it feels like somebody wants you to commit or do something to commit in a solid way, more of on a comfort level. I feel like a solid comfort, this is how it is type of thing. And you're like, well, why do I need to do that? I mean, I said I was going to do it, doesn't matter type of thing. It's kind of like being in a situationship where you're like, we're doing all the things. I don't know why you want me to say we're official. But I feel like looking at it from another person's perspective or looking at something from a different perspective, it's something they need. And it's like you should like take a risk on that. Interesting. So it's about being grounded, being less playfully mischievous, because it doesn't feel like you're doing it to hurt someone. It's like a playful type of mischievous energy. Okay. So let's get into your cards. Six of Swords, the Hermit, King of Wands, Two of Coins, Nine of Swords, Three of Wands, the Sun, Queen of Cups, King of Coins. Like I said before earlier, Scorpio, there's a high level of success for you in May. And it comes with introspection. So you've gotten something or someone that you want. And I feel like it's going along. Like it's going, it's moving, things are going the way that they should. You found a good way to balance work and life, love and life. It looks good. Okay? The prospects looks good for you. Yeah, it's almost like you feel like I have it in the bag. And it might be getting a little bit away with you. Um like the fact that you have things under control. Hmm. Like you almost seem overly safe. Like the other person doesn't have the option to leave, or the situation doesn't have the option to go south. It's a very confident type of feeling that could lead to a problem if you're not careful. Everyone does not like your choices. And there's a feeling like, this is interesting. It's like everyone doesn't like your choices, but you're like, once I do this, everyone will see. Like they think it's a bad choice or it doesn't have a future. But I don't see you letting that stop you. But I do see something being in the back of your head about it that could eventually affect you moving forward. Like, it could affect you having to wait on something and that little sneaking suspicion of not being sure sneaking in there, you know? It feels like, Scorpio, you have a lot going on in your mind. Like you're overthinking a lot of things. There's like hidden worries or hidden I don't know how to call it, like hidden, like an anticipation or to protect yourself, sort of, from something happening, even though things look good. So that's why it feels sort of like you might be wanting to test or be a little mischievous or shake things up a little bit. But it's all just going on in your mind, really. That's where it just seems to be. Yeah, because outside of your worries, you look successful, happy, content, having everything that you want. You're handling things very well. You're handling time and balancing things well. It doesn't look like to be a problem. But what I do see is you needing to have more faith in what you have created, the groundedness of your choices, and not wanting to have to test things or change things up, or if this happens, what is this person going to do? It's like you need to just accept sort of what is and not try to shake it up. There's some sort of worry or anticipation about the future and how solid something is that's hidden in there. Mm. Things seem to be moving along the way you want it. You and a partner, if you're in a relationship, are doing fairly well, looks like. It doesn't look like there's any problems, or if there were problems, you have resolved them for the most part. They're not a big influence on the relationship right now. It just looks like you two are just moving along, is what it looks like. It looks like your goals or what you're achieving is moving along. Um, you're learning how to balance your time and energy with family and everything else that you have going on in your life, because it's like you see that it's important to have a really good support system, and knowing that you need to nurture that support system, like that's a part of your well-being, your all-around happiness. I see it being kind of smooth, like there's not really any problems or issues, but it's almost like you're anticipating some, like maybe with work, okay? Um, or there being a problem with work somehow in the future. It doesn't seem like it is one now. If it is, it's really tiny. It's not bothering you, but it's almost like you see one coming or working its way up to you somehow. Yeah, I see nothing but success for you as long as you can keep things balanced. And that's mostly what this reading is about you personally throwing a wrench in a situation when things seem to be going fine. Yeah. So in May, I see you getting into your head. You have the opportunity to dig a little too deep in your head, because there's not really a big prominent issue that I see you like creating one to almost defend, like anticipating an issue before it happens, bringing something up before it needs to be talked about. It might not even come up, you know? Um, the more that you get into your head, I feel like the more worry starts to develop, Scorpio. There's a lot of work in maintenance and maintaining the good balance that you have and prioritizing things, what's important, what's not, that type of thing. And it's like sometimes you might overdo it or want to take a break from it or just want to switch things up. It feels kind of like antsy in a way. But I see you just like getting in your head about something. And also it's combined with the overconfidence of how good things are going. So that's why I feel it's very mischievous. Like, let's see if I do this, what will happen? Or let's see if I, like this person isn't going to leave. I'm going to play a little trick or test them. Um, but I feel like you'll win more with compassion, love, and understanding, and continuing to nurture what it is that you're doing right now. You'll benefit more from that. Keep the path that you're going. So, what I'm seeing is like sometimes we have doubts that sneak into our minds. Sometimes we overthink things, but it's about the action that we choose to take, that direction that we choose to take. The one that you're on seems perfectly fine. Okay. Um, yeah, hold on to what it is that you have. It's like you're anticipating for something to happen. But being confident about what you have, being grounded and settled in what you have created, which is something beautiful, that's the answer. You know, what you're choosing is the answer. That's why I said you're a manifester. I'm really surprised the magician didn't come up, but um, it's like it's a manifest. You're a manifester. You manifested what it is that you want, but it's like you're anticipating, Scorpio, something else to happen. And it's very interesting. It's like you're waiting on something. Um, there's a realization that you're pretty grounded. If you can get over the worries and the anticipation of what may happen to you next, um, the situation you're in is pretty grounded. It's pretty solid. If you just choose to look at what you have right now as success and nurture it as is, you should be perfectly fine, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I see the main highlight here being your anxiety or worry inside of your mind, overthinking things, and it planting little seeds that could grow into something bigger if you're not careful. You found something in a friend, in a friendship. You found a friendship. It's very clear that you found something that makes you happy. And it's important to nurture that. And that takes work to keep it as grounded and solid as it is. But the fear of losing something being the priority as a fear of losing it will cause you to lose it because that's the type of energy you'll give in to it. Be careful of always trying to win or to always test or find something out. Try not to speak try not to speak your worries through your actions. Because what you're showing is that you don't trust, you don't believe, you don't have hope for the future. Interesting. Okay, let's talk about money and career before we go into love. Your career is like, I want to say taking off, but it's moving pretty well. Um you've kind of put your guard down, or you stopped being defensive, or you stopped making excuses, and I feel like you just started doing what needs to be done. But I feel like you're starting to overthink worst case scenarios, and that will deter your success. But you're on the right path for sure, Scorpio. Okay, love. In your relationship, as good as it is, there's something that's hanging over you too. If you're in a relationship, um, it's not necessarily bad. It's just like a unspoken thing. It kind of feels like to me like we know that this could be an issue, whatever it is, but we're gonna push through it because it doesn't define our love or who we are. It's something of that nature. Um, yeah, it's like you're letting that worry go. It's like a decision like I want to be with this person. So we're just going to let it go and work through it. I see that you found a way to balance that out um, recently. I would say within the last 3 months. And it seems to be going fine, especially with the promise of like, we're together, we're a couple, we're a thing. But the closer that you get to starting something new, maybe someone's going to start a new job or move in together or come out or be official, the closer you get to something more solid, that's when the worries start to come up and the mischievousness, quote unquote, is what we're going to call it, seems to come up um, in the relationship. And it's interesting because it's not like you're not happy about it. It's not like you're not happy about it. It's almost like you just don't want to create unnecessary problems. That's why I got the situationship vibe over here, because it's like they're like, let's get married, and you're like, Why get married? We already live together. So it's kind of like you can't see the other side due to overthinking or fears or like wanting to maintain something. But things have to grow. Things have to be nurtured, you know? Okay. Dissipating. Wow. Yeah, stop caring what other people think, okay? And also stop worrying. I feel like it's taking a lot out of you to worry about what other people will think, or you know, like we all make mistakes. We all have our issues. We all have to work through them. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make them less of a person. It's like almost being in the public eye in a way. Quest, yeah, the journey to speak and speak first and not act, I would say. Wisdom, wisdom, gaining wisdom. You have the answers, really. Like I said, you're the manifester. You have manifesting energy here. It's just about what you're going to do with it. Okay. So I feel like there's an expansion, Scorpio, to your emotional vocabulary. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like your emotional vocabulary is going to expand in May. You're speaking what it is you truly want, how you truly feel, without without like anticipation or feeling criticized. And also learning like really good communication. And sometimes it can come out rough at the beginning, but the more you do it, the smoother it will be. You'll learn how to communicate with the other person in a particular situation, is what I'm getting. So there's a lot of knowing your truth in here, knowing the truth, and not feeling self-conscious or doubtful, and just believing in what is in front of you almost. Spirit is definitely here for you in May for sure. Don't forget that. Be confident in that. And that the universe, spirit guides, your higher power wants you to be successful, because it's all over this reading. Okay? All right, Scorpio, I love you. See you next month. Bye-bye.